Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my favorite ways of evolving my art. I find that striking a balance between having an art style and just staying in your comfort zone and not evolving your art at all can be quite a tricky conundrum. So as always, I am very curious to know your thoughts, especially because I think that some of what I will say will be a little bit controversial, but no disrespect to anyone. But in this video, I just want to share how I tend to strike that balance. So as of 2023, February, it is my opinion that although it's not bad to have an art style, and although I can see that the pursuit of it is incredibly popular on YouTube, I do think that sometimes it can be a safety blanket and it can lead to feeling uninspired. Certainly that's what happens with me. So no disrespect to anyone who has an art style, is pursuing an art style, or who's going to look at my art and say that I clearly have an art style that I can't see. But these are just things that I tend to do that I find are improving my art step by step. I thought that it would be helpful to kind of show a visual demonstration of how my art has continued to change. So this sketchbook that we're looking at spans 2020 to 2021-ish. And as you can see, my art changed again. And as I'm filming this video, this is what my florals tend to look like at the moment. And I am sure that they will change again in the future. I'm going to be referencing and sharing my florals and relating it to my florals, but I apply this to all areas in my art, and I think that thus you can also apply them. The first thing is to try to look at references, even better if they are real, like real life, still life kind of thing. I find that this helps you pick up new shapes, different compositions, different color palettes. It just tends to shake things up. I love painting outdoors, so this kind of leans itself very well to it. But another thing that's really helpful is like do this in your style challenges. One that I did on my Ko-fi, which I'll link for you down below, is actually what led to like a drastic change in my florals with the addition of the backgrounds and with a slightly moodier feel. And it's been months, but I still feel super inspired by that art challenge that I did on Ko-fi. And not only that, I've really been enjoying exploring that even more. And I think that when you look at my art before I did that challenge and after I did that challenge, there's a clear difference. So don't underestimate the value of painting from references, of painting from life, and of do this in your style kind of art challenges, and also just painting with friends and being inspired by those around you. The next tip is to consider taking a course. Drawing inspiration from others through a course can be incredibly beneficial. These quite often involve skilled individuals pouring their hard-earned knowledge into a condensed format with time and agony-saving tips and tricks. You are bound to pick at least one thing and almost certainly more. I recently took a Domestica course by Inga Buividavice on artistic florals, and it was really interesting. I was drawn to it because I have admired her art on Instagram for a very long time now, and I really love her color choices, her interesting compositions, and I was just really curious to know what insights she would have. I found that it was primarily geared towards beginners, touching on everything from color theory to like simple watercolor techniques. But the bits that I found the most useful for me were her insights on planning before her pieces, especially as I do like next to I do no planning whatsoever before my loose florals. She highlighted how she uses thumbnails, her considerations into compositions, as well as why she picks the colors that she does, and that was very interesting to listen to. Domestica were kind enough to give me a 10% off discount code for you, which is valid for the hundreds of courses that they have. I'm really enjoying my time on there, and I think that my art is better for it. So if you want to take part in any of the courses, then be sure to use the discount code down below. The next gem is to ban the favorites temporarily. Now, I love painting roses, I love painting peonies, but there are so many more beautiful flowers out there. So an instant way to switch things up is to ban the favorite flowers, to ban the go-to compositions, to ban the beloved always used colors. One of those things or all of those things, and then just seeing what happens. One other thing that I want to do more of to expand my art is to try doing more master studies. Similar to courses, I think that a lot can be gleaned from the art of professional artists. So if there is an art style or an artist that you really resonate with and you find that you're drawn to, then try to replicate it through doing master studies, or privately and respectfully if you're getting it from social media. And then another thing that I found very helpful and very interesting is trying different mediums. I've recently started mixing mediums together, and it's yielded a host of interesting results, some better than others. Even if you're not mixing them together, you can start by creating complete pieces with alternative mediums, or you can mix them together, and the whole thing can just spark so much inspiration. This also applies to using different supplies, and changing my brushes made such a massive difference to my art. The whole look of them to me looked a lot edgier, and thus I started pushing boundaries and trying different things that I wouldn't normally, and adding different mediums that I wouldn't normally do, just because I was being forced to work slightly differently because I was learning how to use those brushes. And I really enjoyed the process, so much so that I've created a whole video highlighting the ups and the downs, and I will link that for you. But if you are still watching, you are most definitely a real MVP, and I really appreciate you. Let me know that you are still watching by telling me which two mediums you think that I should try using together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.